Good evening, Molweni. At whatever time you're watching this, greetings to you. I'm so excited. I'm always excited when I do a YouTube video. And mind you, I probably spent an hour preparing a setup. Guys, recording videos for YouTube or recording videos in general, it is not easy. Okay, it is not easy. The setup, the angles, mind you, I'm only gonna have one angle because I will not be switching back and forth. But I just have to praise my YouTubers for changing angles, finding the best angles, changing their tripods, putting their tripods in a different setting. Jonga, it's a lot. But I'm not here to speak about that. I'm here to speak about, as you know, the channel is about young women, young girls, older women. The channel is basically about women. And I want to make this channel a safe space for women to learn, to express challenges that they're experiencing when it comes to their bodies, when it comes to their reproductive system. I want young girls to have a safe space to be able to speak about the challenges that they are going through, challenges that they are experiencing. Because, I wish that when I was younger, I had an adult that sat down with me on a regular basis, because as a young girl, going through puberty and growing into a young lady, a young woman, it is not a conversation that you can have once. It requires you to have multiple conversations over and over and over. And as the young girl grows, the conversations must also change. I wish I had someone who explained grooming to me. I wish I had someone who spoke about my periods, because the only thing that I was told about my periods, let me tell you a story. What happened when I first got my periods? It was such a scary. It was scary. It was only scary because it was something that we didn't talk about growing up with our parents, and as friends, we also didn't speak about a menstruation. So I go to the bathroom, I sit down, I pee, and I just saw, wow, it's red down there. On my panties, I see blood stains. And I panic. At the time, I was probably, if not 14, then I was 15. I panic. I'm like, yo, kwenzakala ndoni? And I take a toilet paper roll. I roll it up. Because I didn't know where my mom placed her pads. I roll it up and then I put it down there. And I just sit and I'm waiting for my mom to come back from work, because I don't know what just happened. Am I gonna get a hiding? Am I gonna be shouted at? What is she gonna say? Is it my fault? Is there something that I did? It was quite hectic. And when she came home, I told her, I said, Mama, this happened. And She called my aunt. My aunt came. My aunt sat me down. She was a no-nonsense lady. She was a no-nonsense lady. She just told me, and I think her daughters were also there, because she liked to address us all at the same time. The only thing that she said is, if you sleep with a boy, you're gonna fall pregnant. And that was the end of story. I was like, oh, no, I can't sleep with boys because I have just started my menstruation. I was like, oh, okay. All right, you stay away from boys. If you dare play with boys, you're gonna fall pregnant. Johnny, if I play with boys. So I feel like the older generation at the time, some of them used scare tactics, which I feel were not good. The scare tactics stopped ties from engaging with boys, but without any clear understanding of what actually happens if I get intimate with a boy now that I have started my menstruation. You understand? Because it's not, they just used it. They just used a lot of scare tactics. And I don't want to use scare tactics with my daughter. I don't want to use scare tactics with my friends. I don't want to use scare tactics with anyone else, just to make sure that they stay in line and they don't sleep with boys. So, and also when I was younger, I think it was around, if I was not 6 years old, then I was like 7 years old. For those 2 years, 6 and 7, or 7 and 8, I lived with my grandmother in the Eastern Cape, because I lived with them for like 2 years. Once in those 2 years, I remember my grandmother explaining to me, Ukuba, okay, girls, in the morning you guys are gonna bath, and you're not gonna wear your panties, you're gonna wear skirts, and you're gonna go for testing, virginity testing. At the age of 7 and 8, what do you know about virginity testing? Especially if you've been told the night before, Ukuba, you're gonna go sleep in front of some lady and she's gonna be looking at your private parts. Like, can I give any consent? Can I choose? Because I think I remember telling my grandmother, Oba, no, auntie yapom uyenza a lot. And okoko betu, they didn't really give us a choice. We couldn't opinionate. We couldn't express your opinions and our views and our feelings on the matter. It was just, if Gogo said you must do it, then you do it. You don't ask questions. That's how I was raised, which I feel, hey, betun. So, okay, I was like, Auntie, I'm not going there, Gogo. I'm not going there tomorrow, Gogo. I'm gonna run away. Why must she touch me down there, Gogo? No. Fast forward. I ended up going, but had she made it a regular conversation or a regular topic, I think it would have changed the way that I viewed or the way that I felt about the whole virginity testing. I would have welcomed it better. But it only happened once. I think because also then I moved back to Cape Town. So I don't know if they still continued or if they stopped. I don't know. But I moved to Cape Town. And the only thing that we are taught about grooming is just to wash. Uyavasa, ufake ipente clean, and that's it. No one talks to you about fragranced soaps. No one speaks to you about that, symptoms is a UTI. When you constantly feel like you have to go to urinate, you have to go to the bathroom to urinate. When there's an itch down there, but knowing good and well you didn't sleep with the boy, but there's an itch down there and you feel you're so scared to speak to your mom. And there are many factors that cause the itch. It doesn't mean you slept with a boy. There are many factors. It can be that you picked up an infection. Maybe you were using fragrance soap, or you're just not drinking enough water. There are so many factors. It's not always it's a sexually transmitted infection. You slept with the boy, that's why it's itchy. You should feel free to speak to your parent about everything and anything that happens down there. But that environment wasn't really created for, I'll just speak about myself, for me, when I was growing up. And I want to create this channel, this platform, this safe space where young girls can come on here. You can either inbox me anonymously, of course, because I know how sometimes we feel scared to use our real identities to speak about sensitive issues. You can inbox me anonymously, and then granted you give me permission, my battery is flat. Granted that you give me permission, then I will come and share with everyone, not your identity. I will just share the problem as well as educate on different types of solutions, provided that it's minor ailments. But when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, then you're gonna have to go to your nearest health provider, who is then going to treat you either with an injection or just some medication. Some are like once off, where you take, it's either 5 pills once off, or some can last like 5 days or 7 days, depending on what type of infection you have. But these are the things that I want to speak about on this channel. And these are the things that I want to include. I'm just going to fast forward because the video my battery is so low. And I'm so sad, but I didn't charge it. Okay. This is what I want to include in this journal. And I want to include the problems that the girlies go through. Whatever problems the girlies come to me with, I want to include it in this journal so that we can grow as a community, so that you feel free, so that the next girly that gets the book and sees those symptoms, and I don't want you to self-diagnose. I just want you to take it as a educative resource that just teaches you about your body and makes you aware about your body and your sexual reproductive health. So this is the journal. This is the journal that I want mothers and daughters to use. This is the journal that I want fathers, single fathers who can't speak to their daughters about such things, whom also, if their daughters don't feel comfortable speaking to aunts or to speaking to their stepmother or speaking to anyone else about these problems, I don't want them to run to their friends because their friends only know so much. I'm going to develop the journal to include every detail or every information that is necessary to teach the young girl about her body without having to run to friends or without having to mistakes, to first do mistakes before you do the right thing. If we can prevent abortions through this journal, so be it. If you can prevent unwanted pregnancies because you understand how your menstrual cycle works, because you understand how contraceptives work, because you understand you can actually wait until you're older to engage in sexual intercourse. If the journal can actually help you, protect yourself from contracting HIV and AIDS or sexually transmitted infections, that's what I want to achieve. It is made for the safety of the young girl. Powerful for women of all ages. Can you identify a lump? Do you know how it looks like? Do you know the symptoms? Do you know the treatments of a breast cancer? That's what I want to include in this journal because I need you to know this information. We all need to know this information about our bodies. It is our bodies at the end of the day. This is the first issue, and with each and every year, I'm going to do more research, speak to specialists because I am so fortunate to be working with the best specialists in the country, and I have access to the best specialists in the country. So I will take your questions, your queries, and speak to these specialists so that they can share the information and the knowledge with us so that we can all teach each other. Because remember, it is for educational purposes, for self-awareness. We are not diagnosing, we are teaching. We need to be aware of these things. We are no longer using scare tactics. We are using information. We are using knowledge so that we can prevent diseases from progressing. If you can identify a breast cancer in the early stages or cervical cancer in early stages, why not? Before it progresses into either stage 2, stage 3, or stage 4. So we are actually also improving a prognosis of a diagnosis. Okay, so I'm quite excited. I am very excited. I'm going to speak about different topics every now and then. I think I should ask you guys what topics you guys would like me to speak about, what you guys are interested in. Then I do a research and then I come on here to educate. And remember, I also don't know everything. I learn as I go, and I think I will also learn a lot from you guys than what I already know. I will learn from a specialist. I will also learn from you guys, and I will learn from the research that I'll be doing based on the topics and the questions that you guys have. I'm so excited for this. The time is it's probably 1 o'clock. Let me see. I don't want to press this and then I can't see the time because I'm recording from my phone. But I'm very excited. The time is 1 a.m., I'm sure, or it's 2:01 in the morning, and I'm recording this because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go to bed because I was gonna feel guilty for not recording it. But now that I have, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm going to touch on some topics that are in the journal. So I'm going to do another video probably on Thursday next week. Thursday is the 15, 16, 17. I think it's the 15th of May, 2025.